What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another college basketball video. It is Saturday, December 6th, and we've got ourselves a nice college basketball slate to dive into here today. We're going to be breaking down my favorite plays off of this slate. And typically, before we would dive into the day's games, we jump over there to the Guy Boston Sports website because that's where we recap our plays from the night before. But those plays are still live. I am recording this video early, so we'll recap those plays along with whatever we take here in this video in tomorrow's video. So nothing else to do but to dive into the mix, guys. Smash that like button down there for me if you can, and hit subscribe if you have not already. Man, let's go ahead and dive into the mix. We got a noon tip-off for our first game, and it's going to be a good one, man. I'm looking at Duke taking on Michigan State. Duke coming into this one, the fourth-ranked team in the nation, sitting at 9-0. Michigan State sitting at 7th in the nation, 8-0. They're going to be playing host here in East Lansing, where they've gone 5-0 on the year. And man, under Tom Izzo, they are just an absurd 116-16 in December home games. This is also going to be Duke's first true road game of the year. Now, Duke's coming into this one, man. They've got an explosive offense, right? They've also got a pretty elite defense, man. They're led by that freshman sensation over there, Cameron Boozer, 23.5 points, just under 10 rebounds per game, but they're only giving up 59.6 points per game. That is fourth in the nation, and they're hitting 10 threes per game as well, man. Now, Michigan State on their end, while Duke just kind of constantly turns players in and out, sending them off to the NBA and bringing in more freshman sensations, right? Michigan State is that experienced veteran squad led by Jackson Kohler and Jeremy Fears Jr. They got that experience, like I said. They're a good rebounding team. They are also very elite defensively, and we know that, man. Under Coach Tom Izzo, that is the name of the game for this team. So I think a good place to start on this one is looking at that battle in the front court, man. Cameron Boozer taking on Jackson Kohler and Cooper Carson, honestly, right? Boozer is the top scoring threat and a rebounding force for the Blue Devils, and coming off another great week. He's got the ability to score not only inside but out, and he gets to the free throw line quite a bit. Michigan State's going to try to counter that with Kohler and Carson. They both provide that physical presence down low, and Kohler is an improved, kind of a stretch big. He shoots over 40% from three. He's going to force Duke's bigs to guard out on the perimeter. And Carson's a traditional rim runner and screener. So their efforts together, man, on the boards, protecting the rim, it's going to be crucial for the Spartans here in this one. That's going to be key in this one, man. Boozer has really been able just to kind of run over most of the nation so far. Michigan State's got multiple bigs that they can throw at him. They're going to be at home in that raucous environment, right? This is a tough place to play at. So it's going to be a very tough test, probably the toughest test that Boozer has faced so far in his short college career. So I would give the edge to Michigan State in the front court here. Also think they got a slight edge in the backcourt as well, man. You look at Jeremy Fears junior point guard for Michigan State. He's having a breakout season, man. He's leading Division I right now in assists per game at 9.4. He shoots the ball efficiently from all over the court. He's also pretty elite from the free throw line as well, 90% shooting from there. They're solid in the backcourt. They're good defensively. They got decent ball handlers, and they're shooting the ball pretty well from the perimeter, shooting 36% as a whole. So ultimately, this one is a test of Duke's, freshman NBA level talent versus Michigan State's veteran experience and their physicality, right? And the fact that they're at home here really just tilts the favor in their direction, in my opinion. So it'd be a slight lean for me for Michigan State. But this is one of those ones, man, where if Duke gets going from beyond the arc, they have a hard time slowing down Cameron Boozer like most of the nation has so far. Duke can pull this one out. So this is definitely a toss-up, man. You know what I mean? This is definitely a coin flip type of a game. I think that the experience of the Spartan side, the home court, and the fact that they're very good defensively and on the glass. Duke is defensively sound as well. They're good on the glass as well, man. But the fact that Michigan State is also, while at home, with the experience here, man, I think that's enough that should push the favor in their direction, right? What I like more than anything is the total in this one, with that number sitting down there at 138.5. Now, everybody's expecting a lower scoring game here, right? But both these teams do want to push the pace, and they're better when they're out in transition. And both of them have the offensive talent to put some points up. So at 138.5, that's an implied score of 70 to 68 with where that line's sitting at. That just seems pretty low for me. Now, Duke is coming off a 67-66 game to Florida, right? So we could see that kind of game here. Michigan State's known for their low scoring type of games, their defensive pressure, sure. To me, man, both these teams are just too sound offensively as well to be held down to that low of a total. They both want to play at too fast of a pace. I'm going to be leaning with an over here on this one. I think that number is just slightly too low. So I can see them getting up into the low 140s. That's what I'm going to be playing in this one, over 138.5. Let's go ahead and jump over to Outlier to check this second play out. It's going to be a noon tip-off for this one as well. I'm looking at the Dayton Flyers, 7-2 coming into this one, taking on Virginia, who is 7-1. Let's look at these two over the course of this season. Now, they both have some impressive wins under their belt. Virginia coming off of a blowout win over Texas, 88-69, where they just shot the lights out, right? I think the big thing for this one is let's look at these two teams, right? Dayton Flyers defense versus this Virginia offense. Now, this is the thing that concerns me for the Flyers coming into this one. They are terrible defending the 3-point line this year, giving up 38% three-point shooting, right? 338th in the nation. This Virginia team is lights out right now from beyond the arc, shooting 40th in the nation, 38%, man. All that good for 87 points per game. That is 44th in the nation. Virginia has been known as a defensive team over the last few years, man, but this offense is rolling 54th for field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage, right? Dayton sitting all the way down at 235th. And we flip these and look at that Dayton offense versus this Virginia defense. Like I said, that Virginia defense is pretty stout, man. 30th for effective field goal percentage up against Dayton offensively, sitting at 113th. They're only averaging 80 points per game. Virginia only giving up 67 points per game. That is also 80th in the nation. Only allowing 39% from the field, 31% shooting from deep. Dayton's not the greatest three-point shooting team, so a lot of things seem to be working against Dayton here in this one, and I don't like the fact that they are on the road here as well. So Virginia laying 5.5 in this one, I think that's a good look. That's where I'd be leaning with this one. Virginia laying those 5.5 minus 110 over there at FanDuel. Next game I'm going to be looking at, it's going to be a 2:15 tip-off time. We got Louisville coming in as 6th in the nation, sitting at 7-1. They're traveling to Indiana to take on the Hoosiers, who are 7-1 as well, 22nd in the nation. Now, this is going to be a neutral site matchup, right? But it's going to be in Indianapolis, right? Cambridge Fieldhouse. So I think that we can consider this one a home game for Indiana, end of the day, man. You got a really good offensive team in Louisville coming into this one. Number 4 in the Ken Palms for offensive rating, taking on a really good defensive team in Indiana, who's 18th in the nation as far as points allowed, giving up just under 64 points per game. Louisville, they want to get out and push the pace. They're a high volume 3-point shooting team. They've got elite perimeter shooters over there in Conwell and McNeely, right? Freshman Brown Jr. is also a dynamic distributor, man. Louisville is averaging an impressive 94 points per game right now. They attempt 35 three-pointers per game. That is second in the nation. Indiana, they've instilled a more defensive and efficient defensive identity, right? Their defense is elite, man. Like I said, holding opponents to under 64 points per game, 63.8. They're excelling at preventing those easy buckets, man. They're forcing a lot of contested shots. This game is the ultimate conflict game. Like I said, an elite offense taking on an elite defense. Louisville's offense has been explosive, right, over the course of the season, but they did cool off significantly in their loss to Arkansas. They shot just 8 for 37 from downtown. That is only 21% from three-point shooting. And with Louisville's potential to be turnover prone at times, man, and Indiana's elite defense, man, if they go cold from outside, it's definitely going to be tough for the Cardinals, man. Indiana's got that ability to run the shooters off the three-point line, man. They've showed it so far. They've got a forward themselves in Tucker DeVries that is leading their team in scoring. He's a key part of their offense, shooting 42% from downtown. Also the coach's son, so obviously a dynamic there, right? But Louisville's defense, man, they're good overall, 36 in the Ken Palms, but they're designed to force turnovers, man, not necessarily lock down elite high volume scorers like DeVries. So I think that his ability to stretch the floor is going to pull Louisville's bigs away from the basket, kind of open up the lane. And from there, Indiana should be able to take advantage of Louisville's interior defense. Both these teams are going to be coming into this one off of their first loss of the year. Louisville lost to Arkansas. Like I said, Indiana is coming into this one off of a loss at Minnesota. Now, this would be a big win for Indiana, playing close to home, to solidify their early season success. So I think they bring their all here, man. I think the crowd is going to be behind them. I think their ability to keep opponents from getting any kind of easy shots inside is going to be, huge in this one. Louisville shoots 61% from 2-point range. So I like Indiana to pull out a close win here in this one. All right, last game I'm looking at, it's going to be Tennessee taking on Illinois. Fighting Illini coming into this one, 14th in the nation, sitting at 16-2. Tennessee playing host here at 13th in the nation, sitting at 7-2. Now, it's going to be the third straight year that these two teams have met. The Tennessee has won the previous two. That includes a heartbreaking buzzer beater last year, man. Now, while it's at a neutral site at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, like I said, this is in Nashville, Tennessee. This is a home game for Tennessee, man. Now, Illinois has been known for their offensive firepower this season. They've got a pretty good rebounding margin as well, plus 14. That is third in the nation. Now, Tennessee's coming in with an elite defense of their own, though, giving up just 70 points per game. And here's the thing, man. Both of these teams coming in off of losses. Rick Barnes is 61 and 21 after a loss for Tennessee. And it's going to be a big battle in the paint here, man. You got Illinois coming in, a very solid team on the glass versus Tennessee, a very physical team, right? The Lions' biggest strength really is their rebounding and their size. You got Mirkovic coming in; he's a double machine, right? They look to dominate on the glass and score off second chance opportunities. Tennessee's identity under Rick Barnes, though, is disciplined defense, toughness, physicality. Look, they're a physical defensive team, man. They contest every single shot. So while they're not as good of a rebounding team as the Illini, their freshman phenom, Nate Men, is a very good rebounder, right? He is a force on the glass. He can also score both inside and out. So he's going to be key to neutralizing Illinois' interior dominance in this one. Now, and Illinois has also struggled on the road on neutral sites so far this year, just 0-2. It's concern for Illinois in this one. Their scoring depth is significant. They got 5 players averaging double figures, but their 2 losses came against the most physical teams on their schedule, right? Alabama and UConn. Tennessee's going to present that same kind of high-level defensive pressure and that just physicality on the defensive end. The Volunteers, their recent 2-game losing streak, combined with their history of bouncing back strongly under Barnes at 61 and 21, Rick Barnes and bounce back games. Coming off of back-to-back losses like this is kind of a rarity for Tennessee, you know what I mean? So, I have a hard time seeing them, fall 3 straight times, especially in a pro-Tennessee type crowd like this one. So, I like Tennessee in this one, end of the day. I think they get the dub here in a very, very tightly contested game, but, I like them in a low-scoring win here, so give me Tennessee on the side. That is going to wrap it up for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button down there, guys. Hit subscribe if you have not already. So, guys, there is so much free content across this entire channel, man, between me, Ev, Tassos, quotes. Man, you are going to get a dose of really whatever you are looking for as far as sports betting is concerned, man. We got our hands in a little bit of everything. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, man. There's really nothing to lose. But, man, that is going to do it. Hope you guys all cash out tonight and have yourselves a great Saturday. I'm going to see you back tomorrow for the next one.